Everyone, this is Jeff and welcome to Outer Worlds Comics. Thank you for joining me today. Today's video is very exciting. I had some comics sent off to CGC. So two of these books are books that I've had in my collection. One of them very special, which is Giant Size X-Men. And if you've watched, go back and watch some of my earliest videos. The Giant Size X-Men was a gift given to me many years ago. It's kind of part of my whole getting back into comics this year, last year story. Wasn't really aware of what it was, how significant it was back when I had it for years. Long story, please go back and watch. I think it's like my first video. You'll get a little history on it. And then the second book is Witching Hour #1, which is, I think if you go into my second video, you can get a little history on how I picked that book up. And then the other three are three books that I brought with me to Heroes Con and had them signed. So these books were submitted as part of the signature series. I had these submitted through some friends of mine. And so I just got them back. I wasn't sure that when they were coming back. I just happened to go pick up some stuff and they happened to be in. So I was really excited. So I figured, hey, why? I have not seen the grades. I told the people that helped me out with these books, do not tell me the grades. I want to wait to get back and unveil them with my audience. So that's what we're doing today, is we are going to look at these books. So I had my wife, when I came home, I had my wife kind of put a sticker tape over the grade. So I know there's other places the grade is. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't really read. So I'm hoping nothing is going to get spoiled here. That's happened to me the last time I did this. A little background as well. I am not a big graded book person. Not that I'm against it. I just haven't really committed to doing a lot of that. But if you look behind me right here, you will see some books that I have graded. I have X-Men 101 graded. I did send that in. That was another gift to me, along with that Giant Size X-Men. And I think that came back at a 9.2. I have my Hulk, what is that, 341, the Wolverine cover. I'm forgetting the, let's go look, because now I'm annoyed that I don't know. Here, we'll just do this, live, we'll do it live. So we have this, Hulk 340, 9.4, that's been in my collection probably, back to like 2007 or something like that, around that era. And still came out at a 9.4, and that's moved many times. So that's a cool book. And then I did pick this up. I sent that in to be graded myself. And then I picked this up at Heroes Con. Fantastic Four, 112, just one of my all-time favorite covers, if maybe my all-time favorite cover. So yeah, I have that. And then I have Immortal Hulk #1 right there. I'm a big Hulk guy. Anyway, that's the extent of my graded books. So I got 5 more now to add to the graded collection. So let's start. You ready? Let's check it out. All right, so we'll start with, let's have these down here. We have, I'm just gonna do this just to be sure. We have What If number 105. Okay, with this one, I got this out of a collection. I drove to Wyoming, got a collection. This was in there. It's in one of my earliest videos, or I don't know, 6th, 7th video or something. And then I took this to be signed at Heroes Con. There's a little funny story with one of these signatures. I did not have it clean and pressed, so I was kind of submitted it just to see what would happen. I probably should have cleaned and pressed it, because I actually was told the grader's notes on these. And it sounded all like stuff that I could have easily had fixed if I had just had it pressed. Oh well. I just think, based on where I pulled this out of, the collection out of a box, just the fact that I have it is cool, and it's kind of a hot book, depending on kind of if I can't think of the actress's name right now. Anyway, if she's in the new Spider-Man movie. So let's check it out. I predicted that this would be, I think I told the guys that I dropped this off to that I was guessing that maybe this would be a 9.0. I think that was probably best case scenario, given given the fact that I didn't clean and press it. And just knowing kind of how it was stored and how I got it. So let's check it out. 7.0. Now that is very shocking. Boy. Yeah, I mean, there is some... I'm really surprised that that's only a 7.0. So it is a Tom DeFalco story, Ron Frenz and Bill Sienkiewicz art, Ron Frenz and Pat Olliffe cover, origin and first appearance of Spider-Girl, Mayday Parker, Normie Osborn becomes the new Green Goblin. And so we got the signature series. It's signed by Tom DeFalco, Ron Frenz, and Patrick Olliffe on 6/20/25. So that's at Heroes Con. And I'm glad that they actually mentioned that Pat Olliffe is on the is part of the cover, because I researched the hell out of this. I was getting I think DeFalco's, maybe Ron Frenz's autograph, and he was like, "Oh well, you know who worked on Spider-Girl is Pat Olliffe. He's sitting right next to you." I didn't know who he was. I didn't know his history or anything, and I just kind of stepped over and had him sign it. Right here, I think that's him right here. And then I researched the heck out of it, and I could not find him having actually worked on the book. So then I thought, oh boy, I just kind of made a mistake there. But it does show right there that he's part of the cover. So great. It's a newsstand edition as well. 7.0. Boy, oh boy. I'm going to have to read the notes on that. It's 7.0 white pages. So that's a little disappointing, but okay. I could probably, I guess, crack that and get it pressed, and maybe, I think it could be an 8. I got to read the graders notes. Okay. So here we have World War Hulk #1. If you've gone back and watched any of my videos, you'll know that I'm a huge Hulk fan. And this story, Planet Hulk and World War Hulk, were really kind of they're probably my two favorite stories in comics. And really was instrumental in getting me, I kind of had a second run of comics back in, I don't know, 2000. I always kind of stumble with this one, but let's say anywhere from 2007 to 2010, somewhere in that range. It was like a 2-year, 3-year run with comics, and I really fell in love with the Hulk and Planet Hulk and World War Hulk, and then some of the cosmic stories at the time, which was like Annihilation was around that time. Anyway, so I had this signed by Klaus Janson, David Finch, and John Romita Jr. So that's pretty cool. Signature series. Let's check out the grade. Again, I guessed this to be, I didn't have it clean and pressed. This is just a special book for me, for my collection. Love it. It means a lot to me. I've got the signatures. I didn't really care about the grade. I just wanted to preserve it for my own kind of just showing it and what it means to me. I would have guessed this was probably a 9.0. Now I'm thinking after that 7.0, I could be in trouble here. So let's see what we got. 9.2. All right, cool. So I'll take that. I mean, again, I'm not looking to try to flip this or sell it. This is a special book to me. Greg Pak story, John Romita Jr. and Klaus Janson art, David Finch cover. Signed by David Finch, Klaus Janson, and John Romita Jr. on 6/20/25. 9.2 white pages. World War Hulk #1. That's pretty cool. Let me know what you think of that. I think that's awesome. I wasn't going for a 9.8. 9.2 is great. I'm happy with that. I didn't do anything to it. And frankly, I was like, carrying it around. It was getting signed. I was traveled with it, had it in my backpack, walking all over Heroes Con. I did have it secured in a whatever those are called. I'm totally blanking. The like the plastic covers or whatever. Totally blanking. Anyway, you probably know what I'm talking about. All right, so let's get to the big 3. We will do this one first. So again, go watch my second video on how I got this Witching Hour. I bought a collection in my neighborhood. It was a box of comics. There was a bunch of Silver Age in there, a little bit of Golden Age. I got some incredible books out of that collection. Paid $100 for it. Wasn't trying to like run away with ripping anybody off. I didn't really know anything about Golden Age comics and really nothing about value of Silver Age. I mean, obviously, if I see an old Spider-Man, I would have thought that's worth some money. But I didn't even know what Witching Hour was back when I bought this. This was last June, so a little over a year ago. And so I had $100. I wasn't accustomed to even dropping like, oh, I'll give you $1,000. That wasn't in my thought. So to me, $100 seemed, that's about the most I could pay. And he was fine with it. So anyway, I got this for a great deal. And then, of course, I've learned a lot more about comics in that time and know that this Witching Hour #1 is a great book. And it is in really good condition. A lot of the comics in that collection I picked up definitely had some wear and tear. This one in particular, though, is probably one of the nicest conditioned books out of any of the books I pulled out. And again, with an older book, I don't know. I feel like I've heard that they maybe grade them a little not as conservative given the age. So it's really nice. I think, best case scenario, this would be like an 8.5. I think it's probably more at a 7.0. So let's see what we got. We'll take it out. 8.5. Wow. I am in love with that grade. Denny O'Neil story, Nick Cardy cover, Alex Tall story and art, Neil Adams and Pat Boyett art. First appearance of Mordred, Mildred, and Cynthia. Let's see what it's 8.5 off-white to white pages. Look at that. That is beautiful. 8.5 Witching Hour, guys. That is absolutely spectacular. That is, I gotta say, I'm really, really happy with that. I'm gonna stare at that a lot. I'm really, really happy. 9.0 would have been cool, but still, not 1969 Witching Hour #1. If you've seen the box of comics I pulled this out of, for this to be an 8.5 is a miracle. So I'm really, really happy about that. Let me know what you think on my Witching Hour 8.5. All right, so we got two more. So this one, I don't think I mentioned this in my opening. So I got this, Thanos Quest. Jim Starlin, Thanos. I love Thanos. I love the whole Infinity Gauntlet, everything to do with all the stories that Jim Starlin put together with all that. I've got this out of the guy, I know I got this. Well, actually, so the video that I've gotten the most views is this storage unit that I go through filled with comics. Well, the guy who had all those comics, the first time I met him, I went to his garage and he was selling comics out of his garage. And as I was going through some books, he had #1 and 2 of the series of this. And I paid $20 for both of them total. And so I took it and I had it signed by Jim Starlin, John Beatty, and Ron Lim. So this book is really clean. Out of any of the books that I submitted, I thought this one had the best chance of being a 9.8. So I haven't, I just showed you some of the other books. The only 9.8 I have is the Immortal Hulk #1, which I bought graded as a 9.8. So I think this has a really good chance of being a 9.8. So drum roll. I'm really excited. I really hope it is with all these signatures on there. That would be awesome. So let's check it out. Oh, there you go. That is amazing. That's my first submitted book that I've submitted that came back as a 9.8. And you got the CGC Signature Series, Thanos Quest #1, signed by John Beatty, Ron Lim, and Jim Starlin on 6/20/25. Jim Starlin story and cover, Ron Lim and John Beatty art. In-betweener, Champion, Gardner, and Death appearance, wraparound cover. And then you got on the back, 9.8 white pages. Boom. Check that out. How cool is that? I don't know. Is it cool? Tell me if it's cool. I know it's cool. That's all that matters to me. But I'd love to hear what you think of this. 9.8. Boom. Oh my God. All right. So I got back to back. Really. So far, I'm really happy with all the grades. Other than that, Spider-Girl, What If? That was a little disappointing. But otherwise, it doesn't matter because I got a 9.8 right here. Boom. Wow. I'm really excited about that. That looks cool too with the yellow and the yellow signature series. That looks great. All right, we got the last one. So again, Giant Size X-Men. This was gifted to me. many years ago. 10 years ago, I bet. I didn't know what it was. I put it into a long box of comics. And then I got out of comics in 2000 when I moved out to Colorado in 2011, got out of comics. Really, other than COVID, around COVID, I picked up some Immortal Hulk books just to check out what was happening. Otherwise, not really. And I moved, when we moved from Ohio to Colorado, and then we moved to another house in Colorado, and then we moved to the mountains out in Glenwood Springs, Colorado. Twice there, we rented a house and we bought a house, and then we moved back here. So this has moved in a long box, just in a bag and a board, whatever I just said, 6 times. And I didn't know what it was until last April or May or whatever it was, when I decided, well, I'm going to maybe sell my comics. I'll figure out what the value of what I got. I went on YouTube, started researching, trying to figure out values. I downloaded an app, CLZ app, and I was like, holy shit, this book is significant. That's, I don't know if that's lame to admit that, but that's the truth. I just didn't know. I read comics. I had a bunch of comics that I would travel around in long boxes, but that was stuff that I read. I wasn't never into it for buying for like investment or anything like that. I just like to read comics. Not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm saying that's what I was doing at the time. So anyway, I figured out what I have here, and I've been meaning to get it created. I just, when I originally saw this one and realized what I had, I was like, well, the grade's not that great. But then I started figuring out, all right, well, you know what? It's not that bad for this book. Then I had some friends look at it, and they discovered there was a little bit of a spine split down here. So I settled on the guess for this grade. I thought 4.5, I would be happy. That'd be a good grade. If I somehow got a 5.0, I would be over the moon. I think realistically, it's probably going to fall into 3.5, 4.0. So looking in that 4.5, 5.0 would be a dream. So let's see what we got. 3.5. All right. Can't be mad. 3.5 off-white to white pages. I mean, it was given to me, and it was been moved around for 6 times for over 10 years. So yeah, I mean, I'll take it for what it is. It's still a 3.5, and it's a giant size X-Men. I'll never sell it. It'll always be in my collection. Oh, never say never. At some point, maybe I will sell it, but maybe we'll see what happens with the movies. And if this thing goes absolutely bonkers, maybe I will sell it. But for the time being, I'm keeping it. Yeah, so I'm happy with that. Dave Cockrum art, Gil Kane and Dave Cockrum cover. Of course, it's the first appearance of the new X-Men, Storm, Nightcrawler, Colossus, and Thunderbird. Second full appearance of Wolverine. There's a story I could tell if I ever had a chance to make a video. We'll see if that ever gets to happen. But I know somebody personally, very closely, that owns several pages to this book, original art pages. And I'm talking like, I think the first appearance of Storm maybe is one of those pages, a splash. I've seen them multiple times. They were in my house with us last year. But I having a hard time remembering kind of what significant pages there are. But there are pages of this book that I know of that have been in my house last year. I was going to make a video about it, but I don't know that that's ever going to come to fruition at this point. That's a long story, but either way, we got a giant size X-Men. We got a Thanos Quest 9.8 signature series. We got a Witching Hour 8.5, and then we have these two. We got my very special World War Hulk #1 9.2 signature series, and we have What If, a little disappointing 7.0, but we have a What If 105 with signatures on it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm really excited about that. And now my wall, I've got some plans to rework my wall at some point here, but I think that's it. I would love to know your thoughts. Give me your thoughts on what you feel about those books, grades, all that stuff. Thanks for watching, and I can't wait to update my wall at some point to show you all how it all looks. I got some nice books graded. So cool. I'm getting there, guys. Thank you for watching, and please hit like and subscribe. I'm forgetting to do that. I'm up to 585 subscribers, so I'll take that all day after, 8 months. So I'm happy with that. So thank you for all watching and subscribing, and give me some comments, say what's up, all that stuff. I like to talk. I'm on Instagram as well. If you happen to be on Instagram, follow me on there. I'm happy to chat. So you guys be good out there. I'll talk to you later. Peace.